Oh, whoops. Hey, what up? What up, players? What up, pimp? How y'all doing? Welcome to, I guess this would be maybe beta, 2.0 now, I feel. Some things are going down in here. But before we get started, I just want to say, God bless the world. God bless the hearts of the men, women, and children, and even the animals, and even the spirit of the trees, even the energy in the soil that grows all the food that we eat. God bless all of these elements. God bless all of the planets all around us that are holding everything together in perfect harmony. And God bless the world in the midst of all this chaos. May we find peace. May we unify and love thy neighbor. And that's what some of the things we're going to talk about today on this beautiful transmission. Love thy neighbor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Alien Wizard Science, and we are recording live from the greatest city in the world, which is Denver, Colorado. I'm just saying that again, just in case I forgot to mention it. And now I'm going to bring you guys back into my world here, back into the laboratory. Here we are, grounding ourselves, back into the laboratory. And as I just mentioned, we're going to talk about loving thy neighbor, because today has been a cosmic day. It's been a synchronistic day. It's been a coincidence day. Some of you who are strange enough to believe in coincidences, today's been a coincidence day. I have been doing my best to take care of myself, and today I made a big step. I had a difficult conversation with myself, and through that difficult conversation, I was able to move through some emotions. And later on that day, I reached out to my neighbor because he fell off a ladder, and he broke his wrist and it hurt his back and he had to have surgery. This is my neighbor. And I texted him today and I said, if you need anything, if you need a massage, if you need Gatorade, if you need weed, if you need hot tea, if you want warm food, absolutely do not hesitate whatsoever to reach out to me. And he said, okay. And then on my way to the gym today, I go around the corner and there's another one of my neighbors. And they're up against the wall like this. And they're sweating profusely. And they're shaking. And he's saying to me, I just fainted. And I can't move my hands. I can't feel my hands. I can't feel my body. And I'm like, damn, like I had a bottle of water on me. So I'm just like, may I pour this on you? And I start, I pour it on him. And then eventually I'm having him drink it. I'm telling him, let's do some breathing exercises. Eventually his DoorDash came. He was waiting on his DoorDash. And then he started to feel better. But I walked him home and I said, no sugar tonight, mister. No sugar tonight, mister. You're going to chug all the water that you can. Jesus Christ, he told me that he drinks out of the faucet. You know what I mean? If you live in a city, don't drink out of the faucet, people. Okay? The shit doesn't end there, okay? Later on, I was walking to get my Monday takeout when I watched Kill Tony, and there's one of my neighbor's dogs, like without a leash, and I really am a dog person, and I get very upset when I see when owners at work and somebody's not taking care of their dog. I get very upset. And I've, mentioned to this person multiple times, I said, I love your dog. I'd love to watch over your dog if you're not around. I got you. No problem. No worries. Just let me know. Well, flash forward a month, and then you see the dog walking around without a leash. And I'm like, hey, I'm trying not to take this personal, but I've offered to, protect your dog instead of jeopardize its life, which is currently happening right now. Right? And then he messaged me, he's just like, you're right. I have so much responsibility. I don't want to be a burden. I'm like, I wouldn't, reach out to you and offer if it wasn't a burden, right? I'm a dog person. I need something to do during the day because I don't work. I don't really have a 9 to 5. So he came over and he kind of like apologized and just said like, you're right. It's a blessing to have a neighbor to look out for my dog and who loves and cares about my dog. So that was like 3 neighbors in a row that I had to, no, I didn't have to. Of course I did. My heart is just like, these are my neighbors. But 3 times today where I've had to like confront my neighbors, reach out to my neighbors, offer my help to my neighbors. I've been faced with this opportunity to serve my neighbors and preach my love and show my devotion to them and my care and my heart to them. Today has been one of those days, and God bless this day. Seriously, God bless this fucking day. So you can see during that when the really cool music was playing, I was putting some things on this table. This is my most recent score from Goodwill. Let me focus the camera real quick here. Let's get this camera focused so we can appreciate this in all of its glory. Bada boom. Bada boom, bada bang. All right, check this out, you guys. Check this out. Yes. I found these beautiful little flowers, like little flower paperweights. And they're so gorgeous, aren't they? I'm just dying. They're so cute. Not gay, by the way. Just love talking like a gay guy, honestly. We're going to get closer to this. I want this other one more in focus. Look at that. How beautiful. Are you kidding me right now? How lucky am I? Look at that. Now, I may have made a significant discovery, right? I was at Goodwill a couple days ago, and I scored this mirror, the makeup mirror, where one side is a normal mirror, and the other side shows you every fucking flaw that you were born with. I can't believe like people actually use these mirrors, but my dear mother-in-law is coming to town. Sandy, she's my second mom. She's not my mother-in-law. She's my second mom. I love her very much. And my brother is coming into town, and she wanted to go to Costco to get one of these mirrors. And I'm at Goodwill. I found one, and I'm like, let me score this for you. It's only like $6. So I scored it. But as I was at Goodwill and I'm checking this thing out, I was like, holy shit. I was like, holy shit, dude. Like one side of this is totally normal. And then when you flip it, it like takes you into another dimension. Look at that. I mean, would you just look at it? How flippin' cool is that? Let's just do the little flippity-do, right? Let's go back to reality, if you will. And let me show you, here I am in this shot. Here I am, my little sorcerer. And then let's flip-a-roo. Let's go back. And let me just say, how cool is that? So I want to give a shout out to my second mom, Sandy, and say, thank you very much. This mirror is so badass. And we're going to experiment with it tonight. I literally have no idea what's going to happen. I'm still working my way into confidence and pushing through these like on-the-fly experiments. So bear with me as we do this together, as I completely let go of myself and just explore the unknown so that we can discover magic together. That's what this is all about. Shout out to Phase 3 out of Chicago. This is an incredible double IPA, and it is, it's delicious. That's what we're drinking tonight. And I'll tell you what, let's bring some music in here for a moment. And I'm just gonna goof around on this table over here. You guys listen to this song or something, and we'll see what we can uncover in the moment. Okay? How would we do this? What should we do? We'll do like let's see here. Let's go. Okay, now that I've got your attention, let's experiment a little bit more with this mirror. I mean, seriously, like, there's a feeling that permeate, I don't use that word often, but the word permeate just came up, okay? That permeates in my soul, and it makes me feel like I'm looking through another dimension. I feel like it's like a hologram being projected. If you've seen those UFO-shaped things and they have a hole in the top, you put something inside and then it looks like that thing inside is a hologram that's sitting on top. That's how this mirror makes me feel. So how can we play with it? How can we explore its dynamics and its possibility without pretending like we know it, but more meeting it for the first time and having a conversation with it? Let's see what happens in real time. Let's go back to this table here. This incredible, these incredible flower paperweight that I just scored today. And let's find this mirror. Oh, look at all those spots. Interesting. Look at all those spots. I'm just noticing like these spots in my camera. I need to do some work for a moment. Please give me a second. Let's put the camera back over here. Lots has changed. Lots has changed. Let's do this. Let's do this. Lots has changed, but I'm confident we can get back to where we want to be in moments. Let's do this. Thank you so much for your patience, everybody. We're going to flip this mirror now. And so there's that, right? Well, not very exciting. I think this is actually the normal side. So we're going to go back to the crazy side and, oh boy, here we go. Wow, I have to be completely honest with you guys. I was not confident for a moment. I thought to myself, God damn it, here we go again. But no, instead, the craziest shit is happening right now. And right now I'm just, as you can see, my hand is here. Let's focus the camera real quick. Let's go. Yeah. So there we go. The camera is mostly focused on the mirror right now. So let's have more fun with this. Let's find a sweet spot. That's what I like to call them. Something that really, like this, for example, is where'd it go? Sometimes it's just too bright, it's too saturated. So you can find a sweet spot where there's color, there's texture, there's movement, there's personality, etc., etc. And again, like as I just mentioned, we don't want to pretend like we know this object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this mirror here, and then I'm going to move around the foreground. The mirror is in the background. I want to move this around. I want to take this away and see what happens. What are we actually seeing in the mirror when I put this on here? That's a good question, right? So let's move this down and find out. Where is this ball in the mirror? Because it's flipped upside down. So we would reverse the mirror. We'd move the mirror up in order to see the ball. Here's the ball. So the ball goes here on top. And unfortunately, it's very saturated with white, as I mentioned earlier. However, I'm actually more impressed with this than what I just chose a second ago. Because this is that portal that I was mentioning earlier. When I was at Goodwill, I'm like looking into this frickin' portal and I'm like, holy shit. I feel like I'm looking into another dimension in time. So let's see here. let's see, what can we do right now? What can we, let's not shine so much light on this. Let's just shine a little bit of light on it. Now we can actually see the flowers. The light was completely saturating everything. Now we can actually see the flowers. So if we flip this back over, there we go. The flowers are relatively in focus. Let's bring this mirror closer and see what happens. Now, oh shit, there we go. Now, oh nice, nice. Now the flowers are really in focus. Now let's flip the mirror around and see what happens, Johnny. Oh God, I'm telling you, you guys. I mean, even just that. It's just like, what the fuck is going on? Okay, I'm gonna flip this. Okay, here we go. So, we're seeing the range of this and like the possibilities. And at first, you could say that we were far, far away. We were out of focus. And now we're more in focus, if you will. And the importance of pretending, the importance of practicing the art of not knowing what's happening in your experiment, not pretending like you know too much, is counteractive to the possibility here. So I'm going to continue moving this mirror a little bit closer. There it is again. So, okay, so this is actually the crazy side. Okay, this is the normal side. But because, you know how you can see all the crazy bumps and tears in your face? Well, now we've got this actually close. So now this is being utilized kind of like a magnifying lens. It's no longer out of focus. So not only is the camera is in focus. Let's see what happens when we focus on the foreground. Let's see what the background turns into. So there's the foreground. Yeah, whatever. But I'm obsessed. I love this. I love the way this looks. I think it's so cool. And what I'd like to do is just take this to another level. And maybe make it a little bit less abstract. But before I do, let me just pop back in here and say, hello, I'm with you. I'm here with you. And let's cue up some more music and experiment and just see what happens. I'm cutting myself free from the chains of expectation and letting the powers that be take my heart into the direction it so desires. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Matt Worldly, and this is Alien Wizard Science. This is the coolest art form in the world. I invented it. I hope you love it. I hope you're having a good time. I will be your DJ for the evening. Much love. Let's fucking go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was fun. That one made me, I have the taste of ayahuasca on my tongue right now. That's how awesome that was for me just now. And I hope it was cool for you too. I hope that you know that in this moment, when we're looking at this, I had no plan to put this object, with this in the background, to have the bokeh effect happening. This footage was not planned. As I mentioned before, it is without a doubt an unprecedented importance to surrender yourself to the flow. If you're a creator, if you're an artist, God damn it, if you're just a human being in general, just surrender yourself to the flow and look what will happen. Sure, we feel discomfort, the uncertainty of not knowing what's going to happen is a very daunting feeling. But the truth is, life is constantly testing us because it wants us to grow and it wants us to evolve. But there's absolutely no way that it's just going to let it give us the path of least resistance. It has to challenge us. But the challenge doesn't have to be a daunting. The challenge can be an exciting moment of self-realization to make some really incredible changes in our lives. Which brings me to the next topic, if you will. The next topic of this, I'm going to be the man in the mirror right now. I'm the man in the mirror. Let me pull up my notes here because I want to say something that I feel correlates to what's going on right now. Okay. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Yep. Yeah, I wrote down the misconception is that accepting defeat makes us weak. But accepting defeat actually presents us with an opportunity to evolve past the old paradigm and shed old skin. And what I'm realizing is that shedding old skin is an extremely difficult process. It may be painful physically, it may be painful spiritually, it may be painful mentally, emotionally. But God damn it, it's an opportunity for us to say, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this challenge. Thank you for this hurdle. I will rise above. I'm running out of steam. I'm running out of a little bit of steam here. I'm having the time of my life. Maybe I'm not running out of steam. I don't know. I'm so excited about this episode and just seeing how it's flowing and seeing my fingernails in this shit and seeing the unpredictability come together in high definition is giving me a massive fucking boner. So I'm just trying to keep my shit together right now. All right? Look at the camera, Matt. Look at the camera. Okay, so one really interesting point that I feel is so beautiful to speak to, especially after we've just saw all that beauty and we're like grounded, and hopefully I haven't distracted us too much with all my shenanigans. But what I have learned, or this idea, right? This is just an idea. I want to share it with you, okay? I wrote down the intelligence of a child versus the ignorance of an adult. Let's see if I can elaborate on that. When we are younger, when we are children, and we recognize that something is bad, or we're being treated unfairly, or we're seeing something that isn't right, we register it almost very passively and subconsciously because we're young and we don't know how to navigate difficult experience. Life teaches us that, and that's why it's truly a gift, difficulty. And then when I wrote down versus the ignorance of an adult, as we get older and we see these experiences, we have these experiences, we're not just a child anymore processing this and kind of letting it program our subconscious mind. As an adult, we actually have the opportunity, I believe, to work through it. That's what makes being an adult a lot more precious and almost, oh my gosh, it's almost a relief being an adult, because when you're an adult, we can say, you know what? It's not me, it's them, you know? I'm not trying to sound conceited, but I'm trying to give an example of like when somebody treats us bad and then we internalize it. You know, as a kid, we don't have the capacity to be like, you know, they're just going through some stuff with their family and they're projecting it on me, and I'm not going to take it personal, okay? It's all fucking love from here, all right? As a kid, we can't do that. As an adult, we can. We can. We do. We have to believe in ourselves, obviously, but we do contain the capacity to be able to work through our problems a lot better as a child and not let these traumatic events program us and then dictate our future, our everyday lives. So I think it's so important to touch on this, because not only do we acknowledge how trauma programs us as a child, and we are innocent in that right, and we can't necessarily defend ourselves or speak the truth of the situation. It just goes in the memory banks. But as an adult, it's a little bit of the opposite. As an adult, we're older, we're grown, perhaps, and we have the opportunity to not internalize these things. We have the opportunity to assess the situation. As children, we really don't have that opportunity. So as an adult, if you are going through hardship, I want to encourage you to assess this situation as an adult and not a child. Don't internalize this with innocence. Internalize whatever you're going through with innocence. Externalize your experience with wisdom and sympathy and empathy for whatever this person is going through. Or you just have to surrender to God sometimes. You just have to surrender to the universe and trust that whatever crazy hardship you're going through is actually the greatest blessing that you've ever received. So that's it. That's what I want to say. And I just want to say that let's say one more thing. I went to therapy for 2 years. Best decision I ever made. Took about a 5-month break. Now I'm back. I happen to have an amazing counselor. His name is Daniel King. Look him up, Daniel King Counseling. He's the fucking man. He is, part of the reason that I'm standing here right now in this moment. I've been so goddamn depressed I haven't wanted to do this. But today I had to, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, the beginning of the transmission, I had a difficult conversation with myself, and that kind of opened the steam cap and allowed some things that needed to be processed dissipate and leave the body, some weight that was lifted, right? Well, I desire to say, I don't want to lose it here. I think it's written down here. Oh, stand by. Don't worry, I'm not going to lose this. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm right back on track. Thank you, guys. What I learned in my most recent counseling, therapy, whatever you want to call it, is that as adults, it's really easy, and it kind of backs up the point that I was just making. As an adult, it's really easy to articulate the pain that we're going through, the frustration that we're going through. For example, if somebody wrongs you at work, in such a way, and then they fire you and you lose your job when you've been working there for 5 years, and then all of a sudden, you're able to explain your anger with words, and say, that's not right, da 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 da. But in a deeper sense, the question that my beautiful, awesome counselor asked me when I got done articulating and explaining my toughness and how I'm going to make it through this and explaining all the psychological aspects of my experience, like I know it all, then he asks me, he says, how's your heart? How's your heart through all this? And that's when I began to get a little bit emotional, because that's a damn good question. And it was a great way to just confront the importance of checking in with our heart and allowing ourselves to feel all the ways we need to feel when we check in with our heart. Because when we check in with our heart, we're checking in with the essence of our experiences and how our heart made us feel in that moment. And sometimes we feel so terrible in these ridiculous, crazy experiences that we have as humans that we just bury the voice of the heart with so many things, TV, drugs, whatever you want to call it. But when we move those things out of the way, then we allow the heart, when we connect to the heart, we allow ourselves to feel and really feel into our emotional experience. And that's where the beauty lies, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't want to become bitter victims in life, the best thing that we can do for ourselves is cry. Not necessarily, it's not the only part of crying, but just really to feel into our heart space, to feel angry, to feel upset, to feel betrayed, to feel hurt, to feel hopeless, to feel like you want to die, to feel like you want to just end it all, to feel like there's no fucking point in this life. Feeling into that space gives us so much strength.